Okay, Commissioners, item number 5 is from Faith Elliott Rising, our Director of Community Affairs, and this is with regard to the Phosphorus Management Tool letter that was requested at our last meeting to be sent, and I think there's some revisions to that. So it's a desk item number 5. So if one of you want to maybe make the motion to get the...
I move we send it.
Okay.
I second it.
Discussion?
Shall we read it into the record, or?
That would be fine, yeah.
Would you like to read it?
Yeah, if you
Go
want.
ahead, go ahead.
Oh,
You want me to?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
This is directed to the Honorable Paul Pinsky, Senator and Chair, Joint Committee of Administrative, Executive, and Legislative Review, and also the Honorable Samuel L. Rosebug, Delegate and Chair of the Joint Committee on Administrative, Executive, and Legislative Review, that deals with the MDA regulations on Phosphorus Management Tool. Gives a published where to find it. Dear Chairman Pinsky and Rosenberg, the newly elected Queen Anne's County Board of County Commissioners respectfully requests the Joint Committee on Administrative, Executive, and Legislative Review of the General Assembly, the committee, take 2 specific actions related to the MDA regulations referenced above. The first request is to schedule a public hearing on the proposed phosphorus management tool so that those impacted by the proposed regulations have the opportunity to comment. The second is to delay the proposed phosphorus management tool regulations until the comments from the hearing can be reviewed and environmental and physical impacts on farm communities on the Eastern Shore are fully evaluated. Queen Anne's County agricultural businesses are our largest industry. As commissioners, we recognize the importance of agriculture and related agricultural businesses on our local economy. We are concerned the proposed regulations will place additional economic and restrictive operational burdens on agricultural operations. Queen Anne's County Board of Commissioners is also supportive of the Chesapeake Bay and the improvement of water quality as evidenced in its recent unanimous vote to approve membership to the Clean Chesapeake Coalition. As we understand, the phosphorus management tool, as currently proposed, is not capable of determining how much less phosphorus will reach the waters of the state. Without this data, we're concerned about the adoption of a regulation with obvious direct costs and requirements for the state assistance, especially in light of the state's current fiscal situation. Queen Anne's County Board of Commissioners appreciate your consideration of our views and concurrence with our request for a committee hearing and a hold on a proposed regulation to allow more time to better understand its implications. If you have any questions, please contact the Commissioner's Office, 410-758-4098. And it has 4 of our names. Mr. Wilson's name is not on it because when we talked about this earlier, he had abstained from support of this. And it's copied to our delegation and a number of other individuals.
I'd like to remark on my abstention.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm supportive of the first point in this, which is the discussion of the PMT. I never like to stifle any kind of investigation or review of a thing. The business of delaying the implementation of regulation, when what this county seems to be about is to try to save the bay. And if we just endlessly study stuff so that nothing gets done, I'm fine with studying it and coming to a conclusion, but I don't want that study to take 15 years. I mean, this kind of thing can wind up just being a huge delay tactic, and because I don't have any specification of what that kind of delay means, I don't want to go along with that, because I think that this county and these commissioners even have a strong commitment to saving the bay, and you don't do that if scientifically it turns out this is destructive. So that's the reason behind the abstention.
As I said in the past, keep that in mind when the sewer bill,
I will, sir.
the Southern Canal and sewer comes up.
Well, with all due respect, I've never lived on a farm, so I'm in dangerous turf. But we do have farms that use chicken manure in cultivated fields that have actually won awards for a capture of runoff, and it can be done. One of the things that I'm sensitive to is I came out of an industry wherein the legislative wisdom was to create a test for certain items, elements, compounds in water discharge that were at the time technically impossible to measure. What we were led to understand, and are not in a position to make judgments on, are that the same type of involvement is now at hand. There is no way, admitted from both sides, that this bill or this regulation there's no way to measure what it will do. There's no way to measure the absence of it, what it's doing. These are all theoretical situations, much like, I might add, the theory of how much nitrogen is leaking out of septic tanks. There's no measurement of it. So in that regard, I hope we do bring this up when the sewer comes around. But I don't think we're committed. I just don't know what the regulation is. I do know that we have a large part of our economic stimulus package, tax base, employment derives itself from agriculture. I think it's like 37%, someone told it. It is the biggest industry we have. And we have farmers and people who farm, and all the people in the concentric circles that are employed because of it, concerned. I just want to see them get a fair shake and get their day before the legislature. And frankly, that's what this is intended to do.
Well, my dear colleague,
The two old folks are now drooping.
when this letter first came up, we had no discussion whatsoever of what even this meant. And the letter somehow got voted into being without any knowledge, as far as I know on this board, of anything about phosphorus management, which I plead a complete ignorance of. I do know that, from what I read, it leaches badly into the groundwater, which leaches into the bay. But I point out that this is not unsupported. Every single environmental organization in the state opposes canceling this deal. So it's very hard for me to be concerned about the bay and then fly in the face of what every conservation organization supports without hearing any testimony from those folks on it. So that's
Sure, they'll be present to offer their point of view before these legislatures. I just want to make sure that all the voices get heard.
That's why I supported the dialogue. I just don't like it to wind up getting stalled to infinity.
To speak in favor of the motion, again, what this letter asks for, and I made the motion at our meeting last week to do so, our state legislators came in and brought this up, which is why it wasn't discussed before that. They brought it up, it got brought up during our discussion, and all this letter does is ask that before regulations be implemented, that there be a public hearing and that everyone get to speak. And that's normally, I would think, what good government does. So I support the good government process.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Okay, we don't need, do we have a motion on that? It's been,
We already moved to do it last time,
Yes, so-
for one abstention. This is
so there
just
we
to sign
go.
the letter.
moving on.
Yeah. Okay, item number